Hi, this is Yvon Prehn, and I want to show you some time and money-saving tips for church communication production. The images that I'm going to show you in just a minute, all of them came from the Microsoft website. All of them were free. I took this image and turned it into this example that you might use for, say, a Christmas boutique. I took this family photograph and turned it into two different styles of images for a family Bible reading program. I took this image and turned it into a flyer for Back to Church Sunday. And finally, this image, I simplified it for a very simple and inexpensive church bulletin. First of all, on the one for the holiday boutique, this is where I took this image, turned it into this, and then into the flyer. Here we are on paint.net. Let's open up our image. And here we have our image. All it took to make the modifications was to go up to Adjustments and Posterize. I'm going to move the slider over here, and I'm going to move this little tab all the way down to the end. So the value is at 2. Click OK. Now I'm going to go back to Adjustments and click Black and White. Now here I have a black and white image, and what I can do now is I can color different sections the colors I want them to be. To do this, we go over to this little box over here on Colors, and I want to use that pretty rose color. So I make sure that this is the color that's in the little box, and then I can go up to the little paint bucket here, click on it, and then when I bring it over to my picture, anything that I click on, I can then make that color. And here I can fill in the ribbon. I won't take time to do more of them, but you can see just with a few clicks of the mouse, I have turned it into a totally different looking image that will actually work out much better for printing over it and for the flyer that I want for the Christmas boutique. Next, let's look at the family Bible reading picture. Here we started out with this image, and I made two variations. I made this one and this one. Let me show you how I did them. Here we open up this image, and now we're first going to do a slightly different command where we go up under Effects, Artistic, and then Ink Sketch. Isn't that just the coolest thing? I love this program. So simple. And then now I'm going to actually move the slider down a little bit. I find that I kind of like to get rid of some of the lines with the ink sketch, and I'm also going to lighten up the color just a little bit. And that's all there is to that. And there you have this wonderful image. For the second one, let's start over again. This one we're going to do Adjustments and then Posterize. Now, for this one, I'm actually going to increase it to level 4. Now, I don't particularly care for the colors in this, so I'm going to click OK, and then go back to Adjustments and hit Black and White. And that's all there is for that. And I have the second variation of the image. You see, it took less than a minute to take it from a very nice picture to some really stylized images. This one you could use if you have a color printer. This one if you had a digital duplicator or you wanted to use spot color. Just because you can't print something in full color doesn't mean you can't have images that have impact. Our next one, let's look at the Back to Church flyer. Okay, for this one, let's start out again by doing the ink sketch. And on this one, we'll just click OK. But on this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the colors because I just don't like those other colors very much. So I'm going to you can just kind of play around with it. And when you come up with the color combination that you want, just click OK on that. And then finally, we created a very simple bulletin. Sometimes we don't want to make an image more complex. We want to simplify it, and that's what I did here. I liked this image a lot. I love the image of butterflies because I think they symbolize transformation and new life, and I thought it would be a wonderful thing for a church bulletin. So let me show you how I modified this image. Here we have our image of butterflies, and what I did on this one, once again, ink sketch. And now for this one, I'm actually going to increase where it came in on the outline. It keeps the settings that you had previously, so sometimes you kind of have to go back and forth to make them what you want them to be. I'm going to click OK, and then I'm actually going to click black and white so that when I put it into Microsoft Publisher, that I can modify the colors from there. Let me actually go into Publisher for this one. Here we have our image. Now here we have our church bulletin, and I will have a copy of this on the website for you, and there will be a link to it. This is one of the most wonderful ways, I think, of explaining what's going on in a church service. It's very simple, but we want to dress it up a little bit. But let's just say that this is a small church, don't have a lot of money. They're using a digital duplicator to save money. They have some spot color. So we take this image, and I've actually already flipped it around. This is what it looked like originally. Flipped it. And now we just move it into our bulletin here and click on it and click Format Picture, Automatic, Recolor. Let's make it red. This way it would be very simple to print it with a digital duplicator, or you could even, once again, simply have it in black and white, print it on perhaps colored paper, and you would have a very simple but attractive and inexpensive church bulletin cover. For lots more training in church communications on all kinds of topics related to it, please go to effectivechurchcom.com, and may the Lord give you joy and peace and strength as you serve Him today in church communications.